Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Under Wraps. This is not a vintage 90s era Disney Channel movie, as I thought it was yesterday. It is actually a Disney Plus 2021 film. It is an hour and 32 minutes long, and it actually, yeah, it's got modern effects, although it's really more practical than how they loved in the early 2000s, late 90s. Whenever they could, they threw in as much digital effects under the lowest budget possible whenever they could. This is a lot of, if it not all, practical effects in this. Of course, it's a mummy story if you can't tell. It's the story of three kids, two best friends, Marshall and what's his name? What's his name? Marshall. No, that's not him. No. Come on, where are you? Anyway, he's these two guys, Marshall and Gilbert. Of course, common names. Marshall and Gilbert. Uh, they're best friends. One doesn't like scary movies. The other one likes making scary movies. He's all into horror and everything else, but of course, it's Disney level horror. So, uh, he, it's Halloween time, of course. There's they like a I don't know. They're getting ready for Halloween. Uh, Marshall, played by Malachi Barton, he has a there's a subplot with him not liking his mom's new boyfriend, and it's him trying to get over that. That's a kind of a lesson learned kind of thing that you have to deal with in the story. But they meet a new girl. I think it's Amy, and she's trying to be the star reporter like all girls in Disney Plus movies are, I guess. Like they have their goal is to be the person who tells the truth, the news that they just have this. She has this goal. It's just again, it's something that happens. It seems like in every Disney Channel thing that like they're not engineers or scientists or doctors or wannabes in those senses. They're all just like that. I'm a cub reporter for a newspaper in a town with a high school that I don't want to go to. Uh, yeah, it's a trope basically. It's so much so often. However, though, what you see in this though is probably the one of the first mentions of a kid, even though you don't see them, a kid having two dads, and they divorced. On top of that, she had to deal with her two dads getting divorced, and one having dating a stepdad, and she's not happy with either one of them. One moved to this town, and the other one's moved somewhere else, and now she's stuck in this crappy town. And she meets the boys, and the boys and her suddenly find a mummy. Yeah, so that's the thing that happens. Yeah, right around Halloween, it's perfect. So he just blends right in, and of course yeah, the mummy can understand them, even though he's basically like a low rent Chewbacca. The whole time it's just throughout the thing. He understands English apparently. Maybe it's magic. We'll just call it magic. That's because he knows how to dance. He he understands humor and thumbs up and all sorts of stuff. He's 4,000 years old or whatever, and he's a mummy, but he understands all this stuff. You can't take it seriously. It's a Disney Channel kids movie, and yeah, it's got burp humor and that kind of stuff. Gaseous humor is in this. It's a bunch of 12-year-olds basically, middle school kids, maybe that just go on an adventure and fight villains who steal a mummy, and well, they happen to find him and get it back and befriend him, and they call him Harold. I kind of wonder who Harold is in this. I didn't even check. I should have checked who played Harold because he doesn't have a line in this film other than and there's like these Goombas that are just trying to not a Super Mario thing, but there's these three guys who have stolen the mummy from the museum just before they're supposed to be reunited, the male and female mummies, uh, forever or something. and they're working for this mysterious rich woman who wants the mummy, but they don't know that it's alive, that it comes to life because it has an amulet or something. It's, I don't know. I have to admit I kind of halfway checked out, but I understood everything that happened. Pretty much it happened as I expected it to. It's a comedy. It's funny. It's one of the things I did enjoy about it is when the mummy, of course, has super strength because it's a rotting corpse that's wrapped in bandages for 4,000 years. You're gonna have super strength, magic. So aliens. Anyway, he fights off the bad guys when they are confronted with them, but apparently one of the bad guys is like well versed in Egyptology magic, and he knows that if you take the amulet away, the mummy goes dormant. He's a really smart, tough guy, apparently. It's well shot. It's the sequences. Oh, I was going to tell you the thing I liked the most is that when the mummy does like action sequences when he fights the bad guys or pushes somebody, whatever the camera trick is they do with it is actually pretty good. I actually liked it. It shows a certain level of intensity and emotion that you just don't get with just whack and somebody goes flying or throwing people around or whatever it is. It doesn't just doesn't. It's just not a sound effect. It's not like the Foleys are carrying the entire thing. There's actually a camera effect that jolts the view of when there's action. So that's kind of cool. It's a story about friendship, of course. It's always Disney friendship and accepting others. In this case, Marshall is having to accept his potential new stepdad, and because mom and boyfriend really like each other, and he's just being a jerk to both of them. And also friendship, and they also have like an older. I don't know if she's like a teenage, like a senior. She's super nerdy, which is great, awesome. She's super nerdy, or she might be an adult. I'm not sure. I can't really tell. But she likes to dress up as a werewolf and scare people, and that's a thing. So, yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. It's for a modern Disney film with probably a very low budget. I think they did a really good job. If you can excuse all the really silliness of it, he he goes dancing. He goes to the middle school dance with them, and then just busts out a bunch of great moves with the teacher. Like, if you hadn't pulled them apart, I'm pretty sure they would have hooked up. That would have been horrifying. That's an angle we do not want. That's a road we do not want to go down in a Disney Channel original movie. So yeah, it's if you're looking for something else to watch around Halloween, well, here you go. Under Wraps. It's goofy fun. It's not going to blow your mind. It's not going to change your life. But they could have done a whole lot worse, and it keeps with the tradition of all the classic Disney Channel movies. But it's widescreen, high definition, shot very well, and pretty decent effects. Like, they don't make the mummy like cover up. You see how his teeth are hanging out here, like all kind of gnarly looking. So he's pretty creepy looking. They could have just made him totally wrapped up. And there's also tons of horror movie references throughout this. Yeah, Bela Lugosi references and old things like that. But like at the very beginning, we're kind of tricked. I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but there's a scene where these kids, this one kid thinks there's a monster in his room, but his older sister or babysitter or something like that is like, no, there's no monsters. But as they're going to check out if there's monsters, you hear this kind of Jason thing, like from Friday the 13th. I don't know. I guess that's legal. But yeah. Anyway, let's pick tomorrow's episode because that's all I can really say about this.
275.
275. Thank you. All right, 275. Oh, wow. This is appropriate. Right back to back with a movie about a mummy. We're going to go to the Lost Tombs of the Pyramids. Like, holy cow, how did that work out? Lost Tombs of the Pyramids documentary. We haven't had a documentary in so long. Imagine it's just one episode. I don't know if they can really drag that out into multiple episodes because there's so many of them about tombs in Egypt. Lost Tombs of the Pyramids on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.